What's up, Ups? How you guys doing? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I'm in my new apartment. It is the day after Christmas. If you hear weird noises in the back, it is my puppy. She's somewhere back there playing with toys. So, let's discuss spoilers. Star Wars The Force Awakens is out, and considering that this is one of the biggest releases in recent history, the number one thing that has fans worried who haven't seen the movie yet are spoilers. Tickets literally sold out in minutes. I should know because I was online buying tickets. The showing that I ended up booking was Tuesday night after the Thursday opening. That was it. That was what was available to me. Some people didn't have the option of seeing it opening day. So, if you're following me on Facebook at this point, I'm sure you're aware that on Monday afternoon, before my showing, the day before my showing, some dumb piece of shit decided to ruin the movie. That's what they did. My friend was currently at the movie. She had posted a status saying, "I'm seeing Star Wars." And I commented saying, "I'm so excited for you. I see it tomorrow." And then someone commented after me, so the notification popped up. Thanks a lot. Makes me so angry thinking about it. And said, and I'm not going to say it because I will not spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but they said, "Star Wars was great, but blah 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 blah." Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Like, seriously. I was so upset. I was hoping that it was a fake spoiler. Then I confirmed with a friend that it was not a fake spoiler. I spent the entire morning crying at work. 60% of my tears were dedicated to the fact that the spoiler I found out was very upsetting, and 40% of the tears were dedicated to the fact that someone literally spoiled this movie for me in not even 10 seconds. Because when you see a notification on Facebook and you just start to read a sentence, there comes a point where you realize I've gone too far and you can't stop. So this person ruined the movie, a movie that I've waited more than 2 years. Like, when they first announced that it was the possibility, I was skeptical, but I was also excited and intrigued, and I've been waiting so long for this movie to come out because Star Wars is a huge part of my life. Most of my childhood memories have to do with Star Wars, and this person ruined it for me the day before I saw it. And I'll be honest, I saw the movie the next day. It would have been astronomically more enjoyable if that person hadn't ruined it for me. That's how much spoilers suck. Because I know that I would have reacted 100% differently, and the entire time I was watching the movie, I was waiting for this part to happen because I knew it was coming. This guy ruined my experience. So, to that guy out in the world somewhere, I hope that someone ruins something for you one day that is so important to you, and it just gets like thrown in your face, ruined, and your life feels like incomplete. So screw you, man. I hate you. Internet, we need to sit down and have a serious talk about spoilers. Because here's my problem with it. People are being super sensitive about super minute detail plot points from TV shows and movies, yet at the same time simultaneously wearing a shirt that spoils a major plot point from a movie, TV show, and or book. So where do we draw the line exactly? It isn't fair to be picky about what constitutes an acceptable or taboo spoiler. So let's lay this out on the table right now. What exactly is a spoiler, and when is it okay to talk about them? Say hello to Luna. She wanted to join in on the fun. Luna! So I do want to premise at this point in the video and say that from this point on, I will be discussing major spoilers from The Sixth Sense and some spoilers from Doctor Who. I will make sure to let you know before the spoiler comes out of my mouth so you can fast forward, and I'll have some sort of annotation on the screen that says fast forward from this point to this point to avoid it. So, in regards to The Sixth Sense, if you haven't seen this movie and don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and fast forward to the annotation on the screen now. If you don't care about Sixth Sense and don't care about being spoiled, or you've already seen it, keep on watching. So one of the biggest examples of a spoiler is finding out in The Sixth Sense that Bruce Willis is actually dead the entire time. And no other spoiler comes close to being such a perfect example of a spoiler as this one. Finding out that his character is dead literally ruins the movie if you haven't seen it. There is no other buildup in this entire film at all. So if someone tells you this information before you've seen the movie, you have no way to experience that buildup of suspense. At this point, if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, but you decided to watch this spoiler part in my video, I think that it is completely acceptable to discuss this spoiler at this point, because the movie came out in 1999. So you can't expect everyone else on the planet to not discuss this specific spoiler when the movie came out 16 years ago. Almost 17 years ago now. Fair warning, this next discussion has a spoiler from The Empire Strikes Back in it. So just like when The Empire Strikes Back came out and it was a major spoiler that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, that movie came out in 1980. I wasn't even born for 8 more years. And though the times were extremely different because the internet really wasn't a thing until the 90s, so it's not like you could log on to Facebook and make a post about this massive spoiler, but you also didn't run to your friends after seeing the movie and tell them that Luke's dad is a Sith Lord. Fast forward to episode 3 being released in 2005, and we have Padme giving birth as she whispers Luke and Leia before dying. So, if you're a new fan of Star Wars who doesn't realize that you should watch episodes 4, 5, and 6 before episodes 1, 2, and 3, and you watch them in chronological order, you now find out in episode 3 that Padme and Anakin have babies named Luke and Leia, then Anakin becomes Darth Vader, so when you're watching episode 5 later and Darth Vader says to Luke, "I am your father," this isn't a surprise to you anymore because you've already known this from watching episode 3. The spoiler has changed, and Lucasfilms is clearly okay with knowing that new fans who watch Star Wars in chronological order instead of actual release order are not going to experience this same oh my god moment as the people who would have in the 80s. Now we're going to discuss some minor Series 9 Doctor Who spoilers. Please keep in mind, I haven't even seen Series 9 yet, so I'm not going to be spoiling anything from the actual series. The only thing I'm going to be discussing is information that BBC released themselves about Series 9. So another example is BBC announcing that Clara would be leaving in Series 9. I still haven't watched Series 9, however, I do know that Clara will be leaving in some way because BBC themselves decided to release this plot point. Even though Clara leaving is a huge spoiler because she's such a major character in the show, BBC felt like it was an important spoiler to spoil to the public because it would drive viewership. People are going to want to watch and know how Clara is leaving the series. So for someone like me who has yet to watch, I understand that BBC wanted me to know this information before actually watching the season. Yes, it's a spoiler. No, it should not cause any fan upset in regards to being a spoiler. The season isn't ruined for me. They wanted me to know this information. Hey! What are you, a puppy or something? Stop chewing on my clothes. Why don't you come sit with me? So in regards to spoiler time frame, so when is it okay to openly talk about spoilers? And obviously this is a very fluid question because everyone is going to have their own opinion on what is a good time frame or not. My personal time frame is a minimum of 1 week for big major movies that come out in theaters, and a few days for TV. If you want to go see a movie that's out, you will make time to go see it. And if you want to catch up on a TV show, you will do it. I don't really buy into the whole I don't have time thing because being someone who works constantly and is always busy, I made time to go see Star Wars, and I make time to catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Once Upon a Time and any other show that I really enjoy. I don't have cable, so I can't watch them when they come out, but I make sure to subscribe to the Hulu where I can see it the next day. And after these set time frames, I personally feel like I should be able to make a comment about it publicly without being ridiculed by people who haven't seen it yet. I don't think it's my job to censor my tweets after a decent amount of time has passed. Now that being said, I am definitely still respectful of people who have not seen it, and I would never try to maliciously or purposely spoil something for someone. So I definitely always try to somehow preface my tweets or my posts with spoilers, just so you're aware. Because I don't want to be the person that spoils it for someone. Having experienced it with Star Wars, it sucks. Major current season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spoiler coming your way right now. I would never make it a point to wait 1 week for something and then actively post, oh, it's been a week, so I'm gonna finally talk about how Ward shoots Agent Coulson's girlfriend in the neck. It isn't purposely about wanting to spoil things, it's about wanting to create discussion. I think a better question is when and where is it appropriate to discuss spoilers? As soon as I posted on Facebook that I had seen Star Wars, one of my friends immediately added me into a discussion group that they created on Facebook for people who have specifically seen the movie and want to discuss it. Movies and TV are made and meant to be discussed. If something incredible happens on 1 week of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., damn straight I want to discuss it with my friends on Twitter, on YouTube, shouting it to the winds, etc., etc., but I have to remember that maybe not everyone has seen it yet. Like I said, I don't have cable, so I have to wait until the day after to watch the shows on Hulu. So what do I do to avoid spoilers that night when shows now live tweet episodes? I steer clear of Twitter. I mute my TV discussion group texts. I pull myself away to not be spoiled because ultimately it is my job to make sure that I don't come across any spoilers. They're gonna be there. Unfortunately, not everyone is kind enough to remember that people watch things at their own time, but it is ultimately my job to make sure that I am not spoiled, just like it is everyone else's job to make sure that they aren't spoiled. And I think that's why I was so frustrated that like this person on Facebook spoiled me the day before seeing my movie, because I avoided Reddit like the plague. I muted Star Wars on Facebook, like so anything posted would not come up from their page. I avoided Star Wars on Twitter, like I went out of my way to make sure that I would not be spoiled whatsoever. So this one person to post on the status, like it just frustrates me so much. Because that person was just unkind and didn't care that he was spoiling it for other people. That's what makes me so frustrated. So sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. So once I've caught up on a show, I know that I can go to my TV discussion groups and say, hey, have you guys caught up yet? So that we can discuss it as a group. I feel like a lot of the time, people forget that other people are fans of the same things that they like Once Upon a Time, or Doctor Who, or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. With as excited or sad, as shocked as they were to experience a huge plot point in the show, which is deemed a spoiler to other people, rushing to Twitter to tweet exactly what happened to unsuspecting fans is super unkind, and you're ruining it for other people who want to experience the same feelings that you just had. That excitement, that sadness, that shocked factor. People want to experience that for themselves. It isn't fair for you to experience it and then take it away from someone else. On the flip side of all of this though, if you start to openly discuss Game of Thrones Season 1 with someone in a group setting, and one of the people in that group yell, "Don't spoil it for me, I haven't watched yet." Really? It's been out since 2011. I think that's plenty of time to catch up. That's on you for waiting that long, and I will not censor my conversation at this point because you couldn't find time in 5 years to catch up on the show. Sorry about you. All this being said, I just want you guys to take away from this video that I think it is extremely important that we stop and think about things before we say them when it comes to major plot points or even semi-major plot points in TV shows and movies and even books. Because honestly, not everyone can watch things right when they are available to watch. I had to wait 6 days to see Star Wars because tickets sold out. It's only fair that people wait a reasonable amount of time before openly discussing things. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. I'm sure this video is extremely long and comes across ranty, but I was super frustrated that someone spoiled Star Wars for me. If you haven't seen Star Wars yet, go see it. You don't even have to be a huge fan of Star Wars to enjoy the movie. It is incredible. That is what I will say to you. This movie is incredible. I'm literally getting chills thinking about it, and I can hear the tears in my voice. They did so good. I'm about to cry because it was so good. Not gonna cry. Anyway, you guys, if anyone has ever spoiled you on something, I just want to apologize for the fandoms of the world for you ever having to experience a spoiler. It sucks, but we've all been there, we've all gone through it, and we can get through it together, and it takes one person changing the way that they look at spoilers, and then another person, and pretty soon we'll have everyone just being kind and considerate. Yay! If this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, hi, I'm Kayleigh. You should subscribe by hitting that red button right down below and we can become best friends forever. Links to my Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram are also down below. I'll see you guys in a few days with another video. Peace out, Trouts.